What's gonna happen here? Have they forgotten about my wife? Like, is there just nothing? Like, is no one gonna be held to account for what happened? And so after a few months of just relative silence and just feeling like he can't move on with his life without some sort of closure here, Tadeo found himself feeling overwhelmed by really three emotions. There was grief over the loss of his wife. There was anger at what he viewed was just ultimately police incompetence or police, laziness or deprioritization of his wife's case. And guilt, because in a way, he did feel responsible for his wife's death. If he had just sucked it up and, despite being sick, walked her to her family's house, maybe he could have protected her. Also, he thought about the fact that he was the one who bought this house. And so in virtue of putting her here, she had to walk that route to see her family. And so in that way as well, he jeopardized her safety. He sort of pushed her into the environment where she was killed. And so he was feeling really, really guilty. It was like there was some part of him that thought if he just waited long enough, he would see Maria walking down the street towards him, calling out to him like he had seen her so many times in his nightmares right out this window. And at the same time, Tadeo more and more was convinced he could hear the sound of Maria calling out to him, basically at all hours. Whether he had just come out of one of those awful nightmares, which he was still having, or if it was just the middle of the day and he's just sitting there looking out the window, like not asleep at all, he would still hear her voice. Didn't know if it was inside the house, outside, in his head, he didn't know, but it was like she was constantly on his mind, either because he was waiting to see her out the window or he was waiting to hear her. It was like all-consuming. Maria was the only thing he thought about. And eventually, Tadeo began to believe that the reason he was feeling the way he was feeling was not just overwhelming grief, like the dreams he was having, the nightmares, like hearing his wife calling to him at all hours and believing he was going to see her out this window, that wasn't grief. That in fact, it was his wife's spirit contacting him, that she was basically telling him that she cannot rest until her murder is solved.